Welcome back to another week of the weekly intel. And last week I promised you that I would share with you a little bit about Replit. So we'll get to that before I finish talking, having a conversation with you. But you've been tracking the journey as far as building zero in public and having a conversation with you every week around the tools I'm using, the tactical tools I'm using to move the book and the um different pieces that you would need to get your book out there with the world. So what you would need to definitely a landing page for your book we're going to talk about today. You're going to need a landing page for your book, but you also need to build a audience for your book. So I started the journey of working on, I shared my journey on LinkedIn. I've been to my newsletter. I'm going to share that with you as well. And just really inside of this newsletter this week, we have some good features for you to check out. And this week we are working with two videos, one from Alan Watkins and one from Mrs. Taylor. You're gonna Dr. Taylor, you're gonna check those out. Go check them out. No, go read up on them. They're in the newsletter this week. Check those out and spotlighting one of Memoirs Millions member Daniel Fong published his book back probably a few years back maybe. Can't even think of this couple years back. Anyway, he's just spotlighting him this week as far as being an awesome individual that you can kind of see that's been on this journey towards putting his story out there. And if you're interested in really writing your story, then this is a place to do it with yours truly, by the way. So this week on Weekly Intel is the tool that has been changing my life. And if you're familiar with vibe coding, and vibe coding is a new term people are using for folks that can actually, build a software or build anything that considering the software department using a technology that would bridge between you and the code. And Replit is a platform that I've been using, been trying to really get really good at, and it's been game changing. So I'm going to show you the landing page that I've been building so far for Zero, book Zero that I'm building out right now. Zero Battle Up the Stories that you've been tracking. And if you haven't catch the last chapter that came out last week on LinkedIn, go and check that out. Monday again, we have a new chapter coming out on Monday. But it's been really awesome. I'm gonna show you what I've been working on. Get to see it behind the scenes. So let me give you a view. You should be able to see my screen in a minute. Just pulling up some. Okay, all right. I can see it. If I can see it, you can see it. Now this is my newsletter. Last week newsletter. If you haven't seen it, you can read it, check it out. But this is the spirit of Asher and his world right now. Memoirs of Millions in action. Some of the folks that are being impacting me. So go check it out. I just want to give you a scroll. So I want to give a shout out to one of the last week Members of Millions spotlight individuals, Karen, one of my awesome German friend. She's an awesome author, great coach. So you can check her out. She has value to add to your life. So you can hit her up if you need her for service. All right. So let's get into Replit. When you actually, I'm not going to talk you through downloads. When you log into Replit, you're going to arrive at this screen right here. You're going to arrive at this screen, and this is where you're going to start working on building out your landing page or whatever it is you want to build for your journey. It could be anything. It could be in an app that you can build whatever you want to build on this platform. It's easy to navigate, I would say. After you work, after you can spell out what you really want. And here's something that I've been doing. You can try it this way, or you can go with what the platform kind of recommends. So on here, you can talk to the agent. I'm gonna show you what I'm building, but what I do right now, this is how I do mine. I use Claude, right? Because pretty much, Claude can Claude can build pretty much the same thing they can build on Replit. The only thing that Claude doesn't have right now, it doesn't launch your website for you. It doesn't allow you to launch a website. So I've been using Claude to build mine. So let me see if I can find. Let me see if this is it. Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to show you the landing page that I built because I build out the concept here in Claude first. Um, where is it? Zero 3D map. Let me see what this is. If not, I'm gonna skip it. All right, never mind. But let me explain what I'm saying though. What I do, I worked out the details, the ideas in here in Claude. And I build out, it has to be in here. It has to be in here. I wanted to show you. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Okay, what I do is I build out the idea inside of Claude. And once I get the idea right, then I take and I Claude gives me the prompts, and I take the prompt and I move into Replit. And when I go into Replit, then I paste it inside of this, which once you start your app, it's gonna look like this now. Wait, 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 wait. Sorry, here we go. See what I go through? A lot of tabs, right? So it goes into, it's going to look like this now, which you would be speaking to the agent right here on your left side, in your left panel, and you would just communicate with it, and it would just start creating what you want, and it would show up right here. You just keep building a landing page. It would just show up right here. Whatever you're building, it's going to show up in the preview section. It's going to show up right here. And all you have to do is feed it the information. So you ask it questions right here. I normally use my whisper flow to speak to it and just give me the easy steps, and you just tell it what you want. And when it builds some, so for example, I built out this this soundtrack. So all I did was I upload the songs inside of inside of um inside of Replit, and it automatically plugs it in to the place. So it build me out the same thing I want, like a regular album. I would build out. I explain that same thing to it, and it build it out for me. And I loaded 9 tracks, right? For the soundtrack for zero, and it builds it out in here. Man, you might be wondering, how do you get the songs, Asher? How do you get the songs? How do you do the songs? I get the songs done on this other platform called Suno. If you've heard of it, you can create music on there. I won't even talk too much about it, so I won't get you on that rabbit hole right now. But that's where I get the music. That's where I build the music from. In case you was curious about that. But that's sharing stuff with you, right? But you can work on really building out things that align with whatever you're trying to work on. And you just continue to iterate on it, iterate something doesn't look right. For example, um, a section in here doesn't look right, like the hero section doesn't look right. You go back in, you tell it this section doesn't look right, fix this, fix that, and it goes in and fix it. And it's fixed line by line. Um, Sign up button. That goes on into the system. So right now I'm building out the ebook process inside of Replit for zero. And this is where you can actually access the ebook, and it's going to be here. All the chapters going to be listed here. You can be access to them right now. Recipe 13 and the introduction and chapter 1 is free. You can go read it and check it out, and it's in here, so you can just go check it out and read it. Easy, right? But that's how I'm building it. Switch from dark to white. Options, right? Boom, it's in there. But that's what I've been working on. And when it's all finished, you have the audiobook in here as well. Once it's all finished, that means you can go on the site and get the audiobook. And then the soundtrack is in here as well. You can get it. So when you fully access the system, once everything is launched, this is what you're gonna have. And I do all of this inside of Replit as far as being the home base for when Zero launch is where it's gonna be as far as getting it. Now, when you want to get like order like a paperback or hardcover, no, that's gonna be housed somewhere. It's gonna be housed on my Life in the Wisdom Marketplace. Once that site is completed, it can be to order the book on there. But simple, right? If you're an author, you have a landing page that they can give your customer base to have access to the ebook. That means they don't have to go on Amazon if they don't want to. They can read the whole book on this landing page. And they can also listen to the book on this landing page. And they can also listen to the music on this landing page. And they can order when everything is done, the hardcover. Just put a buy button link in here. They can get the book from here as well. And that's the capabilities that we can build in this time using a tool like Replit. Now you see what I should been working on. And it's coming out pretty good, right? As far as the animation here and stuff. I mean, I use what I built this. I think I built this on. Oh, where did I build this? I think I built this on Gemini. I think I did use Gemini for this. Can't remember exactly. I've used a lot of different tools. Oh, I mean, it was Higginsfield. I think it was Higginsfield. But there's a lot of places you can go and build create animations. But I built the cover of this book, this demo here. I built this on Manus. It's another app that I use to build stuff, another agent app I use. Won't overwhelm with that either. But we can talk about that in details later on, different tools I'm using. But the rundown is you're seeing how I'm building this stuff slowly, piece by piece, figuring things out as I go, where to find the tools to do it. And so this week, Replit is your friend. Try to go test it out. Start playing with it. And it's going to start off a little bit overwhelming at first because when you look at the screen here and you see a bunch of codes, I mean, there's going to be a bunch of codes in here when you start looking at stuff and you're like, is this like crazy, right? Well, you don't even focus on those. I'm gonna show you another tool later on that I use to help me figure this out as well. Um, I will show you that tool later on to help me really like figure out any one of these platforms. I can show you what a tool that I also use to go to it. But this week, just want you to go in and establish your account with Replit. Establish your account with Replit, and then just totally get into vibe coding. Whatever it is you want to build, a little any kind of app for something that you like. You know, I've been working on something at work, and there's like this friction area that this place that you like. There got to be a solution for this. You can vibe code the solution, and you can launch it. Because the thing I like, that's why I say Claude can do the same thing right that Replit is doing right now, except I wouldn't say everything, but Claude can do pretty much the same thing for landing page, except I cannot launch. I cannot publish a website through Claude. So I'm building it through Replit right now. And you can see right now, you can actually buy a domain, right? You can buy a domain in here and you can launch. So these are my two domains that I have right now. Zerobattlestory.com and zerorecipe13.com. That's where you can find the book. That's why I'm building the book, the landing page for the book. But you can launch it, publish the app, boom, people can get access to it now. That's the power of Replit. You can build a lot of different things and it's easy. You just talk to it. Don't even try to type. Just turn on Whisper Flow, speak, get it out, lay out your stuff, and then let it run. But now, the reason why I use Claude, because Replit eats credit, by the way. It will cost you to build this out. So that's why you probably start the conversation in the planning section and just have a conversation, make sure you understand what you're trying to do, and then hit the build and it goes build. But because I'm using Claude as my command center, right? So zero, pretty much this is my zero folder right now. Been running a lot of chats, right? All the chapters in, like I showed you last week. The chapters that I've edited to where I like them already, I'm gonna go back and run to again, do some more editing through the process, but they're in here. Because I gotta get, I'm working on some of the chapters. Some of them just it's not there yet. So what you've seen on LinkedIn is what I've gotten to so far, but you can see where the story is being built and this kind of it's been growing and as far as coming to life. But the final book probably have a different version of what you're going to read on LinkedIn as far as I published, because those are like my first draft. But then in here is where we're going to finalize everything. So you can see so far finalize. Once I finalize everything, I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to do another run. And boom, I'm going to download these and put them into my system to format the book. And it's going to be game over. We're ready to go live. But I use the Claude as my command center, like where everything is tracked. So in this folder is all my history of work in Zero. Same thing you can do with your book. You use Claude to track everything. And as I'm building out the landing page, I'm speaking to this is the chat I've been working with Claude to build out the landing page with. And it just captures everything. So that means if I have a question, I'm like, oh, what did I do last time? I can go back in here, ask question, Claude, pull it up. Oh yeah, focus on this. So sometimes I run into a friction point in Replit, like, okay, this is not working. How do I fix this? And sometimes Replit can do it, but sometimes they veer off. And then I go back to Claude and I talk to Claude a little bit, and Claude is like, okay, try this, try that. So that's my recipe right now. Is use Claude to build out the full concept, then go to Replit and plug in the specifics because you can ask Claude, give me the specific prompts. He write it out for me, copy it, goes in Replit, put it in there, Boom, Replit start billing. And if you haven't been following the link, the my newsletter, you go to LinkedIn, Members Million newsletter. You go to my, follow my page on LinkedIn, subscribe to the newsletter, and this you can start seeing issue number 8 that came out last Monday. And just follow the story. Go read it. You can just go in there, click on this one, and go read upon the journey. No, you would have to click on this now, and this will take you to the artifact, which is the last chapter, and something your stuff gonna look something like that as well. No, that's what I got for you this week, folks. So go ahead and check out the rest of the newsletter, read the stories, understand how I'm writing stuff, how I'm organizing my thoughts, the challenges I've been facing, and there's going to be challenges you're going to face. And a lot of the challenges most people are facing when they're writing their memoir is the emotional one, by the way, because you're pulling up history that some of it is healed, some of it is not healed. And when you go back into some of your failures, some of your fears, some of your first time experiences, I mean, even the victories or some of your the dreams, like they all bring some kind of emotion. That's why this week some of the talks, the YouTube talks are dealing with that stuff because we feel that kind of stuff when you start writing your story. But once you start owning it, owning the language for it, and just really feeling what you felt back then, but now transforming that because you gotta transform it. That's why we do a transformational memoir. Is that you gotta see the lessons from it. You gotta pull out the wisdom from it, and you pull out the wisdom and the recipe from it that you can give it to other people, because now it becomes their story. And like my coach Joe Wellen often says, no one cares about your story. Like no one cares about your story unless you can make it about them. And when you start writing with the the ideal reader in mind, the person you want your book to be a hero to, once you start writing with that person in mind, then your writing change because now you're like, wait a minute, if I give them this thing, could they handle it? Well, how can I give them this boulder that feels like a pebble? How can I give them this pebble so they can like, oh yeah, I felt it, I can carry this with me. I can take it somewhere. And you gotta find a way to write where your story becomes their story because they're in it, they're experiencing it, you put them in it. And we can talk about some of that in details, one on one. But really, how do you take your story and make it useful for other people? That is the key writing. So, like we talk about the first book that you write that book for yourself. Like the data dumping, you put that stuff out together. That is the first book is for you. The second book is for your audience, the reader, the person your book is going to be a hero to. And those are two different books. You don't write them the same way. You write the first one for you only. That's you, the stuff that you want to get out of you, organize it. The second one, you got to really think deliberately about how do you want the person that's going to read this to receive it. Is it too heavy for them? Is it too dark for them? I know sometimes you're like, I want it to be raw. But if your book is too heavy, nobody's going to read it. Meaning that if it's too heavy for them to read it, they're going to put it down. So then how do you take what is valuable in your story that's going to be valuable for them so they can take it in? You got to find the language for it. And it would be the same story, but the language works for the person that's receiving it. It's not a boulder. It's not heavy. It's not that thing that they can't carry. Because the reason why you buried it, because you couldn't carry it. So if you give that thing to them, the same raw and heavy stuff, they're going to put it down. And then how good is that book for them when they can't get what's in it? So you have to figure out how do you write it in a way that the pebble and the boulder is the same ingredient, same material. It's just packaged differently for that person that's going to carry it with them and take it on their own journey. If that makes sense with you, send me a response. Again, subscribe to the newsletter and continue to share it with anyone that you think might find value from this journey. Anyone that you think is like, hey man, I want to write my story. I want to figure out how do I do it? How do I start? How do I continue? Because some people start their story and stop because you're gonna get stuck. Like I got stuck plenty of times. But what I do is I take a break and I get back on it again. because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. All right, I'll see you next week on the next weekly and tell.